Council Conference Meeting of April 16th, 2019. Can you please rise for a Pledge of Allegiance, followed by a moment of reflection in honor of those that defend our freedoms. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Michelle, can you please read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Here.
Mr. Ferrante.
Here.
Mrs. Labow.
Here.
Mr. Mania.
Here.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Roman.
Here.
Mr. Nicastro.
Mr. Roman?
Yes.
I'm not sure if we have a scout in the audience.
Is there a scout in the audience?
Yes, we usually have them.
Tell you what, that's like a bad area to see the meeting going on. Why don't you sit up here right next to Mr. Tatarenko? You got a bird's eye view. And if you wouldn't mind, when you get up there, if you can say your name and the troop that you're with.
Come on up.
We won't bite you.
Sorry,
No, no problem.
Good catch.
Just say your name and what troop you're with.
Hello, my name is Lucas Reyna. I am from Troop 156. I am a Tenderfoot Scout, soon to be second class.
All right,
Nice.
great. Thank you very much.
Congratulations, welcome.
All right, we'll try to get you back home in bed in time. All right, our first item on the agenda is going to be a proclamation for National Donate Life Month. So we're going to, whereas realizing that the urgent need for organ and tissue donors across the country, the National Donate Life Month observance promotes a greater understanding about the life-saving benefits of donation and transplantation. Moreover, the need is increasing. New Jersey Sharing Network is committed to addressing that need through increased awareness, and whereas the transplantation of organs and tissue is a miracle of modern medicine made possible through the compassion of organ and tissue donors, enabling surgeons to save thousands of lives every year. One organ donor can save 8 lives, and one tissue donor can restore health to over 75 others. People of all ages, ethnic backgrounds, and religions are touched by donation and by the serious shortage of organ donors that exist. Currently, there are nearly 4,000 New Jersey residents and 115,000 Americans awaiting life-saving transplant operations. And whereas every capable person should support this vital effort by registering as an organ and tissue donor, making their family aware of their wishes, and being willing to give the precious gift of health, sight, and life to people in need. And whereas registering as an organ and tissue donor at a local motor vehicle agency or online at www.newjerseysharingnetwork.org signifies our fundamental human responsibility to help others. And whereas we dedicate April 2019 as National Donate Life Month as an opportunity to join the New Jersey Sharing Network in its life-saving mission. Now therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Robert Greenbaum, Mayor, obviously not me, of Mount Olive Township, do hereby proclaim April 2019 as Donate Life Month in the Township of Mount Olive in the state of New Jersey, and encouraging the citizens of Mount Olive and all Americans to support this organization and its noble humanitarian mission.
Mr. Roman, we have Wendy here from.
Yes,
We so appreciate you.
could you go to the podium? I would love to hear more from you.
Right, yeah.
Right over. And if you wouldn't mind stating your name and address for the record, please.
Wendy Rothschild, 40 Corey Road, Flanders. Thank you all for doing this proclamation. This is the month of Donate Life Month. There's 9 people who are listed here in Mount Olive. That's Bud Lake and Flanders, who are in need of a life-saving transplant. So, you know, we appreciate you acknowledging this.
I'm sorry, can you speak into the mic? Just so we can get you on the record.
Right, so we appreciate you acknowledging this and doing this proclamation to further spread the word, because our main purpose is to educate the public, to register, to be a donor, and let your family know what your wishes are as well.
Thank you very much for all your efforts. Appreciate it.
So I just wanted to say thank you as well. My name is Michelle Dable. I live in Mendham. My address is 4 Hamilton Drive, Morristown officially. And I am a recipient, and Friday will be 14 extra years of life because of someone saying yes to donation. So I greatly thank you for what you do, and really, really, it's important.
Thank you.
Excellent, thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we're on to resolutions. There are 17 resolutions. Does anyone have any questions or comments on resolutions? Mr. Slaybaugh.
I just wanted to back up 1 minute to the donation thing. There was a thing on ABC News today about a girl's life who was saved, a live donor, live liver donor. So just so it's not, you don't have to die to donate. You can, you know, and it's with medicine and everything, it's amazing what they do now with the liver, that you can just, a portion of somebody's liver matches, it saves somebody's life.
Right,
So,
and the donor's liver actually regenerates within a year's time.
yeah, so it's
So,
just
yeah.
amazing, all of it is amazing. So I just wanted to point that out, because I know for the longest time, my husband and I just had this conversation, he goes, are you gonna donate your organs when you die? I said, well, I don't know if they're gonna really want mine, but yeah, I'm already a donor. I said, but, you know, you don't have to die, you can be alive and donate, so.
We also work with St. Margaret that has a nationally known kidney program for living donors as well.
Very good, thank you. I'm sorry, Alex, I
No,
just
no
wanted to get that point in there. Thank you.
Thank you. No questions on resolutions? Andrew, I got a number 5, the Carfax Police Program. Just want to make sure that is of no cost to the township.
It is of no cost to the township. Residents could actually still come to the police department and get the reports for free. However, if they want them expedited, they could go through Carfax, pay a fee to Carfax, and the Carfax would give Mount Olive a portion of that fee. But there is no additional fees.
All right, thank you. All right, we have one ordinance for second reading. Does anybody have any questions, comments? Okay, seeing none. Anybody have old business? When we get to the public portion, you can address it then. Does anybody have any new business? Okay, seeing none, I'd like to open up to the public portion. Sir, if you wouldn't mind, up to the podium. And if you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, Jonathan Bamber, 31 Park Place. I just had a quick question, if you could provide some clarification for Section 5 of 10/2019. So regarding the temporary capital budget, if you could explain that, please.
Let's get to that. Section 5, you said?
Mhm.
You just read it over.
We do, Alex, we do a capital budget as part of our regular budget. We basically define the programs that we're actually going to spend money on, and that's really what that relates to.
Okay.
It's just part of the regular budget.
Okay.
And it's listed, it just lists out the projects.
I was curious if it had any relation to the town sewage, the previous ordinance.
This ordinance does have a relation to the previous one. We're
Right.
amending the previous one to include an additional property.
Okay, but not having anything to do with that particular budget?
No,
No.
that same budget, that budget is the same. The budget amount is the same. This is just amending the description.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Does anybody else from the public wish to be heard? Okay, seeing none, close to the public. Can I get a motion to adjourn to the public meeting?
Second,
All in favor?
aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, and I'd like to call to order the Township Council public meeting of April 16, 2019. Michelle, could you please read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement?
According to the Open Public Meetings Act, adequate notice of this meeting has been given to the Daily Record. Notice has been posted in the Municipal Building, 204 Flanders Drakestown Road, Bud Lake, New Jersey, and notices were sent to those requesting the same.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Here.
Mr. Ferrante.
Here.
Mrs. Laybow.
Here.
Mr. Mania.
Here.
Mr. Stewart.
Here.
Mr. Roman.
Here.
Mr. Nacastro.
Mr. Amianda, would you please approve the approval of previous meetings, minutes, January 26, 2019, budget meeting, March 19, 2019, closed session, and April 2nd, 2019, workshop and public meeting?
Yes, Mr. President. I move a motion for I move a motion for approval of minutes of previous meetings on January 29, 2019, March 19, 2019, and April 2nd, 2019, work session and public meeting.
Okay, roll call, please.
Can I get a second?
Second. Yes.
One question, I think Daniel said January 29th, March 26th?
Okay.
Yeah,
So we
he
have
did
to
say 29.
Daniel amend it to January 26th?
Let the record reflect that it's January 26,
Six. All right.
2019.
Second?
Second.
Okay, roll call. Has there been a second?
Yeah,
Yes,
Colleen,
second.
second.
Okay, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes, but abstain from March 19th. I was not at the closed session.
Mrs. Laybow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Abstain on January 26th, yes on the 19th, and April 2nd.
Mr. Roman.
Yes.
Or, I'm sorry. Mr. Stewart. I'm sorry, I just skipped right over you. Mr. Stewart.
I abstained from March 19th, but yes on January 26th and April 2nd.
Mr. Roman.
And yes. Okay, we have 10 pieces of correspondence. Does anyone have any questions or comments on the correspondence? Okay, seeing none, we're on to ordinances for public hearing. I open the hearing to the public on ordinance number 10-2019 entitled Ordinance Amending Section 3A of Bond Ordinance 9-2019 of the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris, New Jersey, finally adopted April 2nd, 2019, in order to amend the description of a project. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? Seeing none, close to the public. Mr. Ferrante, can you please move it?
Sure, I move for adoption and final passage ordinance number 10-2019.
Second?
Any council discussion? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes. Okay, there are no ordinances for first reading. Ms. Laybow, we have 17, the consent resolutions, but does anyone wish to move anything non-consent? Okay, I am going to move resolution number 1 to non-consent. Okay, Ms. Laybow, would you mind moving consent resolutions 2 through 17?
Thank you, Mr. Vice President. I move resolutions 2 through 17 for approval.
Second,
Okay. Anyone from the public? Okay, seeing none. Any council comments?
I have a
Yes.
question about one, I'm sorry, I should have moved it to non-consent. Andrew, for the ambulance, for...
What number are you talking about?
Number 7, right, number 7,
Right.
approving the EMS. How many bids did we
There
have?
were 2 bids received,
2 bids?
one from Atlantic and one from St. Clair's.
And was there,
They were very similar. There was a slight price discrepancy. St. Clair's was a little bit more expensive on the price per mileage, so we went with Atlantic. And we've had a previous relationship with them as well, and everything has worked out fine.
okay, great, I was just wondering what,
Yep.
thank you.
Okay, anybody else? Okay, seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda.
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante.
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow.
Yes.
Mr. Mania.
Yes.
Mr. Stewart.
Yes.
Mr. Roman.
Yes. And at the risk that I violated procedure. Was that seconded?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
John Mania.
All right. Okay,
You move one to non-consent?
can I get, Mr. Mania, would you move the non-consent resolution number 1?
Thank you, Mr. President. I move for adoption of motion to approve the bill list.
No.
No.
Non-consent?
Motion- non-
The one I moved out?
Non-consent resolution.
Oh, I'm
resolution
sorry.
Number
For
1.
Henry.
I'm sorry, I've been jumping the gun.
Resolution 1. Right here. Move that to consent.
I move that consent resolutions.
Okay, can I get a second?
Second.
Okay. The reason I moved this to non-consent is I think it should have been, it should be read out loud. A resolution of the Township of Mount Olive in the County of Morris in the State of New Jersey honoring the life, legacy, and dedicated service of Henry John Faster. Whereas Henry John Faster Jr., 68, of Bud Lake, New Jersey, passed away on Saturday, February 23rd, 2019. And whereas was born in Glen Ridge on November 27th, 1950, to the late Henry and Alva Faster, Henry grew up in Bloomfield and in 1976 settled in Bud Lake with his beloved wife, Patricia. And whereas Henry enjoyed a distinguished career including positions at Merck, where as a chemical engineer he specialized in the emerging field of applied computer automation, at Hewlett-Packard where he focused on information technology and systems infrastructure, developing techniques around computer-integrated manufacturing, and most recently as SHI International Corporation, where he retired as chief technologist and managing partner and was known as a forefather of cloud computing technology. And whereas as a Bud Lake resident, Henry was active in the community as a youth sports coach, vice chairman of the Mount Olive Planning Board and Environmental Committee, member of the Morris County Republican Committee, parishioner of the St. Jude Parish, avid basketball player, and a longtime New York Yankees fan. And whereas, as an expert military historian, Henry assisted in the restoration of the USS Intrepid and USS Growler. And whereas, Henry enjoyed restoring and collecting muscle cars, including Corvettes, and in his younger years was a winning race car driver and racing engineer who used his winnings to purchase his wife's engagement ring and put himself through college. And whereas, above all else, Henry loved his family, including his loving wife Patricia, devoted son Michael, his wife Margaret, two cherished grandchildren Rebecca and Henry's brother Theodore, and his wife Cynthia, great nieces and nephews, and many other family members, friends, and colleagues. Now therefore be it resolved that by the mayor and township council and the township of Mount Olive in the county of Morris in the state of New Jersey, that Henry John Faster Jr. is hereby recognized and honored for his dedication, service, and commitment to the township of Mount Olive and its residents throughout his life. Roll call, please.
Who has the public, if anyone has anything?
Does anyone from the public wish to add? Seeing none. Okay, roll call.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes. Okay, Mr. Mania, would you move the bill list, please?
Yes, thank you, Mr. President. I move for the approval of the bill list.
Second.
Any questions? Anyone from the public? Seeing none, roll call, please.
Mr. Amianda?
Yes.
Mr. Ferrante?
Yes.
Mrs. Laybow?
Yes.
Mr. Mania?
Yes.
Mr. Stewart?
Yes.
Mr. Roman?
Yes. Administrative reports.
Just one quick thing, I have the plans here for the sanitary sewer project of Old Flanders, so if any of the residents that are here want to take a look at it, I could show them the plans after the meeting.
All right, thank you. Anybody have any old business? Okay, new business.
Just wanted to
Ms.
see
Laybow.
if our scout has any questions.
Sure.
Not really.
Not really.
No? Okay.
All right. Any new business? Seeing none, legal matters.
Nothing to report tonight, Mr. President. Thank you.
Oh, that is good. Does that mean you get to charge less?
You get a discount tonight?
Get that on the record.
There you go. Council reports. Mr. Amiandia, anything on Board of Education or Senior Citizen?
None.
Okay. Mr. Ferrante, anything on environmental, lake, or library?
Nothing today.
Okay, Mr. Stewart, anything on economic or community action?
Yes, on June 6th, we're actually doing in partnership with the Morris County Economic Development Corporation, a western area of Morris get together with all the EDCs to link up together on helping retain businesses in all of our areas. And then concerning the CAP on May 21st from 8 a.m. to 11:30, we're doing a half-day workshop on the opioid crisis, and I'll be at the Bud Lake Fire Department, complimentary to all in the area.
Okay, thank you. Ms. Labo, anything on open space, Board of Health, or stigma?
No.
Okay. Mr. Mania, anything legislative or planning?
Planning Board, we had a meeting last week. It was just a lot line adjustment, and there's a forthcoming meeting this Thursday.
Mhm, thank you. And I have nothing to report on recreation or pride. And now I'd like to open it to the public. Does anyone from the public wish to be heard? Anything? Going once? No? Okay. Closes to the public. All right. Council comments. Mr. Amianda.
None.
Mr. Ferrante.
Nothing tonight.
Ms. Laybell.
I just want to say that I want to thank our staff, our administration, and our public for our wonderful park, Turkey Brook Park. I've been up there a lot lately with my grandkids and my husband, and it's just a wonderful feeling going up there and seeing everybody enjoying themselves, having fun. And today, I guess with the school out, being out, Mount Playmore was jammed with kids, and they were having a blast. So, and then Marty showed up to sell ice cream, and it just felt like summer was here already. And then the wind came along and it got cold. But anyway, I just want to thank everybody. You guys do a phenomenal job. Thank you very much.
I concur. Mr. Mania?
Yes, Henry Fastard was a dear friend of mine who served with me on the planning board for many years. He was an asset to the board, and he's going to be missed dearly.
Yes,
All right,
absolutely.
thank you. Mr. Stewart?
I just want to thank our guests that came from the sharing network today to get the word out on the need that is in the entire, not just our area, but across the country.
All right.
I agree. And this past weekend, I found myself in North Carolina, and I happened to stumble upon a township that is well-known, Mount Olive, North Carolina. I was there, I visited the Pickle Fest, and did not know that most of the East Coast pickles are supplied by Mount Olive, North Carolina, and Mount Olive Pickles. While I was there, I was, as Southern people are apt to do, be very hospitable. I ran into the police chief, Tommy Brown. No, I did not commit any offense. And he,
But you got caught.
no,
You got
I
a
wasn't
shirt.
driving. And, he gave me a T-shirt.
Oh, nice.
He was gonna give me some bracelets too, but I'd like to publicly thank the Mount Olive, North Carolina Police Department and Police Chief Tommy Brown for their excellent service. It was a great event, so if you ever happen yourself down in that neck of the woods, have a pickle here. And with that,
Alex,
can I
if
get a
I could
motion?
just add to that, Lisa actually reached out to the Mount Olive administrator today to see if we could do something jointly in the future. We don't know what yet, but
Oh, nice.
something with pickles and
Yeah,
prosciutto, or what is it, Fratello bread, I don't know, we'll think of something.
that'd be great. Yeah, and if possible, because you also got a coin. I don't know if we have these police department coins. Apparently, people collect them, so if we have something, we'd love to send him down something. Can I get a motion to adjourn, please?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay. Meeting adjourned. Thank you very much.